Yesterday, October 6, 2025, the UN Security Council debated the Women, Peace and Security agenda for the 25th time under the Russian presidency. We in civil society are sick and tired of these statements, and so instead of issuing our own new statement this year, we decided to do something different, and here it is. 25 years ago, we women who lived the wars the Security Council debates appeared before the Council, urging action and sharing our solutions to prevent and mitigate the violence and complex wars we faced. They adopted Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security, but 25 years later, those words on paper have barely made a dent in our world. We're facing an arms race, shrinking civic space, climate crises, more wars, occupation, and genocide. So there's no point in saying new things. Instead, today, I wanted to honor our community of women peacebuilders who have appeared before the Council these past 25 years, speaking for the millions that they represent by echoing their messages and their words. We shared our realities. The war came to my doorstep the day my son went missing in action in the battlefield. I contacted other women. As mothers, we wanted to stop the war. I led a group to the Tamil Tiger territory. We met the youth and were able to understand their side of the story. With the women across the divide, we were able to build much-needed trust. Our call was a right to life for all. But the official process that started, based on our work, excluded us. Time and again, when it comes to high-level negotiations, women's voices and experiences are marginalized. 25 years after Resolution 1325, participation should be the default, not an afterthought. Unmet commitments are just words and will do nothing to bring peace. What are you waiting for? We shared our pain. My dream of a great future was cut short. I was determined to be the first person in my village to go to the university, but the Lord's Resistance Army abducted me with more than 100 other girls. I was an innocent young girl, repeatedly raped by an LRA commander. I got a chance to escape, and was lucky to go to university. But many of the girls were not, because they have babies born of their abuse. I have told you my story, but the stories you have not heard are thousands-fold. And I'm here to remind you of the children who are hoping for you to act. What are you waiting for? Sexual violence is a weapon to torture and terrorize. Most victims will not receive services, protection, acknowledgement, or justice. Unmet commitments are just words. What are you waiting for? We said, in the absence of government, we are at the forefront of providing aid and services in places unreachable by international organizations. In areas hardest hit by violent extremism, where no one would dare stand up to the Taliban, out of necessity, I had a dialogue with their leaders. Without protection and with scant resources, we continue to work for peace. We sensitize young people to dissociate themselves from the armed groups. We speak for unarmed civilians, bring tolerance, forgiveness, and practical solutions that are the basic tenets of reconciliation. We can go places, say things, engage and build trust in ways that no other actor can. We're not essentializing women, but speaking about the women who have the vision, courage, and skill to engage in such deeply dangerous work. Those who, out of the horrific ordeals they've suffered and witnessed, have transformed into peacebuilders. Yet, we remain vastly unrepresented in efforts to prevent conflict and violent extremism. Unmet commitments are just words. What are you waiting for? We warned you. Lasting peace can only be achieved when women sit at the negotiation table together with men. The Taliban view women who speak out as the enemy. If we leave it only to men, we get Israeli generals and Palestinians who will not be defeated. There is no room to negotiate. Our demand for inclusion is pragmatic. Why should wielding weapons and threatening violence be the only ticket to the peace talks? If you're serious about achieving peace, then as governments and as the UN, respect and draw on the peace actors. We don't live in the realm of fantasy. Our wars are complex and multifaceted. Our peace processes must be rooted in that reality. But unmet commitments are just words. What are you waiting for? We explained to you, women's exclusion isn't about culture, it's about power. And all issues are women's issues. Peace is not simply ending war, but addressing collectively the root causes of conflict and demilitarizing our societies. When we speak of peace in everyday life for women and men, it means accepting differences, being treated well by the police, employment, health, women walking alone free from danger of being raped, participating in the country's decision-making without feeling threatened, children playing and studying without fear of being recruited, without fear of losing a loved one. But unmet commitments are just words. What are you waiting for? The open circle you sit in symbolizes a clear path away from war, breaking the cycle of violence. In the presence of the enormous power you represent and the terrible awareness of how dangerous that power can be, we ask that you, the Security Council, fulfill your responsibility as set out in the United Nations Charter. The task of sustaining world peace will be easier in partnership with we, the peoples of these United Nations. Resolution 1325 is unique. What other resolutions are supported by people from Sri Lanka to Colombia, Liberia to Aceh? But unmet commitments are just words. What are you waiting for? We tell you again, you need us because even when we are women whose very existence contradicts each other, we will talk, we will not shoot. We are willing to sit together on the same side of the table and look at our complex history and not getting up until in respect and reciprocity, we get up together and fulfill our joint destiny. Are you willing to work with us? Unmet commitments are just words. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?